Next up, Donna Reed.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I want to sort of do this unofficially. Where we're standing was a farm that I knew well because I grew up on a farm on Tuckerton Road. And when you look over here and you look at the mountains, that was the visual I had growing up. Muhlenberg was rural. There were some truck farms. My dad had one in Tuckerton. My uncle had one cat corner. Breaks my heart to see houses going up on it now. But this was all orchards. Where you're standing was all orchards. And I say this because, number one, this is close to my heart because this is home for me. But also, I say this to you because I grew up on a farm that was a truck farm, produce farm. And my grandfather, who bought it in 1910, and my dad and my uncles, we all, and I helped them when I was little, helped my dad and my uncles, ran our routes through the city of Reading. And I'm old enough, ancient enough, to remember a time that if it wasn't for the folks in the city of Reading buying our produce, helping us out, we wouldn't have been able to keep our farms. And now when I represent the city of Reading, especially Northwest Reading, I represent an area where people once lived that bought our produce that helped to keep our farms. To me, it was a public and personal obligation to serve the city of Reading. And I'm happily have done that for many, many years. I'm grateful that I won the primary. I was the only person in it. I am also now on the R side because I have enough write-in votes to be on the Republican side. So barring something unusual, I likely will be entering council again for a 4-year term in January. We've gone through some really bad times in the city of Reading governmentally. You guys know the history. I don't need to repeat it. We're on a better course now. Do we always all agree on everything? No, we have differences with the administration, but we communicate. We're trying to move the city forward. Even though we dealt with COVID, even though we've dealt with an economic downturn, we're united in what we look at our vision to be. And the idea of having Wes come on, a young man with the kind of energy we need to galvanize all of us, to re-galvanize us, with the institutional knowledge we have there on council now, we're looking for better days ahead. We're looking to work, and we have been working with our state delegation, with Manny, with Mark, with Judy. It's a time we can galvanize and we can work together. But we have to do it with the county. The city is not a separate entity. It's not Reading and Berks County. We're all Berks County. And that's one thing I saw when I ran 2 years ago for commissioner, which was a great experience. I lost, but it was still a great experience. To see how the city is viewed by folks, especially in the experts, not the inner ring, but the experts. We're all part of this together. If the city doesn't move forward, Berks County won't move forward. That's why it's so important to get our city voters out, to get policy made in the city that can be applicable to the county. Small policies, big policies. We're dealing with a small one now. Plastic bags. How many of you have driven down a country road and seen a plastic bag crumpled out on the branches of a tree or in the river? All that kind of thing. We're trying to work now so the city will be a leader now to work to get the whole county on some kind of plastic bag ban that we can help the environment. So there are issues that can emanate from the city that can go out through the county. Planning. Let's develop the city. Let's look at Dana South. Let's finally get people moving in some of our empty areas, some of our stretches, and develop those where the infrastructure is there. I don't know how many of you drive up towards Hamburg and see how terrible it looks with the warehouses that have obliterated the beauty of our wooded rural areas, our hills and our fields. So let's all work together. I think as Democrats we can make a difference. We can't make the difference unless we turn people out. If you look at the county now, it's Republican controlled. It's likely to continue to be. So we have to knock down the barriers within our party, and all work together to move this city and this county forward. I hope we can all do that. I hope in another 2 years we can get with John in the coroner's office and the other row offices, bring Fred back, and have a Democratic majority that can move Berks County forward. We need to do that. So I'm happy to do my part. Thanks to everyone who worked so hard. And let's get this, not just the city moving, but let's get the county moving. Let's not be the forgotten county of southeastern Pennsylvania.